everybody, Dan Illman, Mike here, taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Sunday, December the 8th. It's race number 8 at Aqueduct, the Garland of Roses. For fillies and mares going 3/4 of a mile, let's take a look at this field. Remember to access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Take a peek, handicap along with us. Pretty wide open race, according to David Aragona's morning line. Mystic Pleasure, who's been in excellent form out of town, the 3-1 morning line favorite. Can't Hurry Love coming off a little bit of a layoff. St. Benedict's Prep in very good form for Linda Rice. Ain't Broke coming off a layoff.
I think the morning line kind of accurately reflects how tough this race is, Dan. There's a lot going on in here. I think this is a pretty well-matched field overall, and you throw in some horses coming off of layoffs that are clearly contenders, but they're going to have to be ready off the bench.
Pace might make the race. Let's throw up our time form US pace projector. Can't Hurry Love figures to be fresh. She showed a lot of speed with blinkers when we last saw her, and she figures to be forwardly placed. I do wonder, though, if the key to this pace is the number 6, Ellen J, who's shown a lot of speed on turf, but is certainly bred for turf. Her damn Covfefe was super on the main track.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, Can't Hurry Love, fresh off the layoff here, Dan, has been showing speed in her recent races. And, maybe they'll just come out of there running here from the outside again. And she's fast for sure. I thought Mystic Pleasure, who the pace projector thinks is going to be, right up close. I mean, I thought she was more tactical than speed. And I agree with you. I feel like Ellen J is sort of the key to this pace. When her first 2 career starts around her, she didn't win either time. And she also didn't get out of the gate well either time. But she's been better in that regard since they switched her to turf.
If the pace is hot, the 2 Ain't Broke has the time form US fastest late pace rating, as evidenced by the LP flag over her Chicklet. She's also cross-entered on Saturday, so we'll see if she competes here. Let's start things off with the 1, Kara's Time. A nice New York bred coming into this race in very good form for Mitch Friedman. Here she is scoring the Iroquois, going 6.5 furlongs in New York last time out. Stayed up close to the pace. Love the tactical speed she showed here, Mike, and she's very, very game to prevail.
Yeah, she's good. That's Captain's Daughter, who's bearing down on her there on the outside. Captain's Daughter's also back in this field. Kara's Time's just going to sort of dig in, Dan, turn this horse away late. It's a very game performance. She's going to have to run better than that against this field, but she's got faster races to get to. She's got good tactical speed. I think she's a little bit underrated, and I think she's usable at a price in here.
Now, we haven't seen Ain't Broke, the number 2, one of the 2 Linda Rice-trained entrants, since early May, where she disappointed in a very tough field. The Grade 2 Ruffian was won by Soul of an Angel. You had randomized the 2023 Breeders' Cup Distaff runner-up in that race. She probably deserved a break. Now, she's going to be cutting back to a sprint. She's run well sprinting in the past, but is 3/4 too sharp of a sprint for her?
It might be. It also sort of makes me think, because as you pointed out, Dan, she's entered in the Go for Wand on Saturday too, going the mile. It kind of makes me feel like maybe Linda's shopping for a spot for this horse just to get her started off the layup. We'll see. She's really good, and she's got one big run in her. So Cancel going the 3/4. He's gonna have to time it right if she's somewhere off the pace. It's worth noting that she bled in her most recent start, reportedly bled, so that's probably what led to the layoff. And we'll see how ready she is on the comeback. I think it's pretty clear, looking at what she's done for Linda Rice. If she's ready off the layoff and runs her good race here, she could easily beat this field.
Linda confidently claimed the 3 St. Benedict's Prep for $80,000 in April, and they've made hay with this horse. They've won 3 times, and they just missed most recently. Let's watch St. Benedict's Prep. High-level allowance, short field, 1-turn mile, sloppy track. She's got the lead turning into the stretch. She's got to battle all the way down to the wire, and battle she does.
She does. She's really game in here. That's her stablemate, Movie Moxie, who's a real hard hitter, doesn't win a lot of races, but it's been really good for a long time. And St. Benedict's Prep's just not quite as good as Movie Moxie, but she's a game second here. Turning back, I don't mind that for her, Dan. I wonder if she's going to be part of this pace as they drop back 1/4 of a mile in here. It's certainly possible. I kind of preferred other horses in this race.
I think the horse with the most upside potential in this field is the 4 Autumn Evening. She's still a very lightly raced 3-year-old. She's won 3 of 6, including this race last time out. Second level allowance going the 1-turn mile at Aqueduct. This is her first start off of a short layoff. And again, she showed very good tactical speed to park herself off of the leaders. She's asked for run. She has to work, and she gets it done.
Yeah, she stays the mile. That we already knew that about her in here, Dan. She did a little bit of chasing in this race. I just thought that she was really game to wear down this horse on the lead. I don't know if you would call this winning like a 3 to 5 shot should, but listen, she got the job done. And I also felt like the prior, her victory ride wasn't good when they stepped her up the first time. I thought her prior was actually pretty good. I thought that was sort of an underrated performance and a real step in the right direction for her.
Captain's Daughter, we saw finishing second to Kara's time in the Iroquois. They tried open foes in the St. Benedict's prep race. It didn't work out when she ended up battling for the lead. Turning back in distance, though, is going to allow her to relax behind the leaders. She's a little bit underrated, but like the other New York bred Kara's time, she probably has to take a step forward.
Yeah, I would just say, she's just one of those horses who outruns her odds so often that you could just maybe try to get her in there somewhere. I think it would be kind of surprising if she was able to sit back, make a run, and close this field down. I don't really necessarily see that happen, but I could see using her somewhere because, again, she just outruns her odds so often.
Ellen J, the number 6, was bet hard for her first 2 starts, and considering her pedigree, the dam won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. That was expected for high-percentage trainer Brad Cox. As Mike mentioned, she didn't break very well in either one of those races, but Brad switched her to turf, and she's been a lot better coming out of the gate, showing some speed to score last time out in the Glen Cove at Aqueduct. The question is she a turf horse?
Yeah, that is, I guess, the question in front of her now. And again, the break is going to be key for her because, even she's been better on turf, but she still doesn't, that first step for her is not that sharp. So we'll see if it affects her coming back there. I would just say this. Yes, she's improved on turf and she obviously handles that surface, and I don't know if you feel this way about it, Dan, or if you even bothered going back, but you go back and watch her 2 dirt starts. I mean, her debut was actually an unbelievable performance. I mean, she had an absolute no chance trip in there after blowing the brake. She still I thought she ran great in there. And then her second start, I just personally feel like she got a terrible ride in that race. And maybe it cost her a little bit in there. So I'm not so sure that she isn't as good on dirt as she is on turf.
Another horse with a lot of upside potential is a lightly raced 3-year-old. Mystic Pleasure is very, very consistent, coming into this race off a stakes placing at Churchill Downs, going 3/4. Another horse with the tactical speed and a good outside post position to allow Florent Giroux to kind of pick his own trip.
Yeah, I like that about her. I just, the more I looked at her, Dan, the more I just felt like she was really logical in here. When you start picking apart her past performances, it's the dirt sprints, and they've tried routing her several times because she has that pedigree to go long, but she's just better sprinting, and she's better on the dirt, and all of her dirt sprints are good. I thought the most recent start, the Dream Supreme, maybe the trip kind of did her in there. They got way more aggressive with her, and the horse that beat her, Uppercase, got the more patient ride and closed her down. This horse had beaten Uppercase the prior 2 dirt sprints. She beat that horse both times and beat her pretty convincingly. The trips made the difference last time.
Can't Hurry Love is the 8, and she completes the field. She ran very well to just miss in this race last year, but she did have the benefit of a prep. In this year's edition, she's going to have to come into this race off about a 6-month layoff. The last time we saw her, however, she looked good. It was the Dancin' Renee Stakes. She wore blinkers for the first time. She showed good speed. She opens up at just the right time here, and then she has just enough to hold off the runner-up. Very consistent from a Beyer speed figure standpoint, very consistent throughout her whole career, and she does have that early speed.
Yeah, she does. I thought she looked good winning this race too. They wanted the lead in here, and they got it, and she made it stand up, and that was a good performance because 2 back in the correction, she just took a brutal beating there, chasing a really fast pace and just getting nailed on the wire. So she was in good form when we last saw her. My main concern is she can easily win here. My main concern is it just feels like, doesn't it look like David Dugan? He freshened her up, brought her back off the layoff there, the Dancin' Renee. They were probably ready for a summer campaign for her. She wins the Dancin' Renee and she's been gone again. It makes me feel like something went wrong. So we'll see how ready she is off the layoff.
And before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for Sunday's race of the day. It's the Garland of Roses. You're going with Ellen J. You believe she can step on dirt, and considering the pedigree, why not?
I liked both of her dirt starts. I will say I would not take a short price on this horse because I feel like there's the potential for her to get bet off of her turf form, which is a bad idea. But I watch her 2 dirt races, Dan. I think she's good on the surface.
Can't Hurry Love's layoff is a concern, especially returning in such a competitive event, but I do trust this barn off the bench. And I wonder if her price goes off fair to maybe even a slight overlay because of the layoff. I'll give her a chance to try to speed pop this field. 8742 for me, 6742 for Mike, and the Garland of Roses, Sunday's DRF race of the day. Best of luck.
Hey friends, you look like you're in need of a winner. If you enjoyed the great content right here, just click and subscribe right here and enjoy the great DRF.com race of the days, the phenomenal stakes previews, and so much more. Many of that content featuring me and my exceptional selections. Trust me, you won't regret it.